Oh, I love it. Can you cut the light on?
I can.
That's good. I think we good light.
You sure?
Yeah, we good.
Oh, you just wait for people.
Yup.
Check, check, check. Okay, the mics are good. Oh, you just wait for people to come in.
We can start and play it back. Some people gonna jump. Somebody just jumped in. What's up? Can y'all hear us?
How you see where people come in?
One person in.
Okay.
I'm with Teddy Riley right here. And this is the chat.
Okay.
Let us know if y'all can hear us. Give us a thumbs up or drop in the chat that y'all can hear us. Por favor. See y'all. Oh, two people. We see y'all in there rocking with us. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank y'all for joining.
Always start my yoga classes on making sure everybody stay hydrated, get some water. You see Mike Brown got the water. That's why his smile so bright. I tell people, get some water, get a safe place and a comfortable place for your mat to be, and then have some comfortable clothes. So shout out to all of y'all who are in a safe and comfortable space. And if you're not, please go get into one and having some comfortable clothes on because we're gonna take you for a ride.
Yeah. Man, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very I feel very powerful. If that's the way to feel. I feel empowered by my decisions to be introspective. And I know that sounds like a lot. I'm doing good, I'm doing fine, but I've been in my head lately and um kind of easing into it's you ever feel in your head sometimes and it feel hard, like you hard on yourself, or you just like, ah,
Yeah.
it's getting a little smoother,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
It does. How you getting there though? Because I'm, as you saying, I'm thinking about myself and how I get there. But how do you get to that place of like not being so hard on yourself?
Conversations with Mike Brown is one of them. Mike Brown always telling me not to be hard on myself, and Mike Brown, you are a different part of me that helps me to be like, just chill, just relax. I'm all stressed. Like 1 o'clock, we got to get on, and Mike like, we gonna make it.
Yeah.
So talking to you, my daily practices of meditation and um and being able to breathe, man. I really laid down, and my partner Sarah, she tell me to rest. Um, and reading, getting new information, talking to people, talking to my other friends, talk to Byron, Dr. Byron Young, talking to Crenshaw. Everybody get that one conversation with Crenshaw a year, maybe 2 years. But really getting out of my head, because in my head I can be very hard on myself, and acknowledge that, and really just breathing, listening to a lot of YouTube videos of sometimes I'll be in the space of listening to people that motivate, get this money, let's grind, let's go, let's do it. And then I know it's like, all right, I need to listen to some spiritual people who put me in a space of accepting and even just thinking about being on the show. And the title, I was talking to Sarah about the art of letting go. And just when it popped up in my mind about the title of your show, the art of letting go, and realizing that I had to let some stuff go, it made it a little easier. Things smoothed out.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, so I really appreciate you.
Before we get started, I'm gonna turn this fan off
All right.
because my
Sound
ears be
thing.
very
Yeah.
But I also want you to, because in the episodes I've been doing, we've been leading with meditation,
Okay.
like taking 3 breaths. So I would love if you guided us in a meditation, and then we just get this thing rolling.
Let's
So I'll be
do it.
right back. And yeah, man.
All right, cool. Thank y'all for showing up, being here. I always like to check in with y'all. Like, if you can hear us, good, and if you can see us, good. Just drop something in the chat. If you got some questions, some comments, some concerns, just some things you want to express, you can drop that in the chat as well. And then, as I said, please take a sip of your water, your tea, whatever you have, and then get in a comfortable, relaxing position. You might be standing right now at your job. You might be just standing in the hallway about to go to the bathroom or something, whatever you are. Just get comfortable in your body. Let your feet feel comfortable underneath you, or like me, folded underneath you. Let your shoulders just relax. Let your body just ease into it. It's a Saturday here, and I want your body to take some time off too. And after you finish letting your body go, let's move into the breath. Let's move into those sensations of your belly rising, your chest rising. Let's move into the sensations of the fresh oxygen coming into your nose, and then the carbon dioxide, the stress, the tension leaving out through your mouth gently. So we're going to take 3 of the deepest breaths we've taken all day. We're going to breathe in through the nose and then release through the mouth. Let's take a deep inhale through the nose and a slow, long exhale. Deep breathe in through the nose, filling up the chest, the lungs, the belly. Exhaling, letting it all go, softening the shoulders, relaxing the face, easing the mind. One more. Let's take a deep inhale, fill up the body, fill up the mind, fill up the heart, and exhale. Release any tightness, tension, pressure, stress, worry, anxiety, hate, hurt. Just let it go. And you can stay in that place comfortably and then just join us again consciously as we engage in this conversation and we practice letting go. Thank you.
Man, thank you for that. I really
Thank you,
appreciate
man.
that.
I needed that myself. Appreciate y'all.
So if y'all just tuning in, this is the art of letting go, but with a special live edition called Two Dope Boys in a Conversation.
Hey.
Um, I've been knowing Dames shit since 2004.
Yeah, 2004.
Yeah.
Graduated high school, went to college.
And
17 years old.
yeah, man.
I'm older than Mike.
But the journey has been very parallel. And just in you overcoming your challenges of life and me with mine as well. Like I feel like we've always like just continuously grown and progressed. And in celebrating my 100th episode, I felt like I had to do this with you because
Appreciate it. I'm honored.
you progressing as well.
I'm honored.
And man, it's so much I want to get into, but I feel like we could start with a question that I was asked on Instagram. Somebody asked, how were we able to maintain our friendship for so long?
First thing came on mind is love. Um, and I feel like Mike Brown, you have taught me a lot about love. Um, like I said, I told you before, like I can be very isolatory. I can be very just distant from people. And Mike Brown has allowed me to have my space, but still is always there when I need him. Mike Brown has never not been there for me. And there's been some times where I just been like in a dark place and didn't want to deal with anybody. And he's just like, cool. And just then he's there whenever I'm there. And I think he's been cool when there's been times I probably have not been there for him. He never was like, you wasn't there for me, blah, blah, blah. Um, so Mike Brown has showed me a really, really deep love and taught me a lot about love. And that forced me to grow, and that forced me to understand that within this friendship, within this relationship, it is growth. And even if I didn't understand it on a conscious level of like, oh, this is growth happening right here because I kick it with the homie, like it just happened. It was just something that I can look back and say, oh, okay, we are growing together as people. And it is because there's a deep love at the core of it. Because Mike Brown is a loving, very loving being. And so you can't not be a person about love and not be with Mike Brown. And he shows it every day. Even when I'm stubborn with love and everything and my paranoia and all that kind of, I don't want to. So that's definitely has been it for me of just growing from a sense of love and understanding where love is in my life, and coming back to it. Like, okay, it's love in this friendship, it's love in this relationship. I'm gonna come back to it because it's here, and we're gonna keep growing with it. That's what it's been like for me.
Man, that was a lot to take in.
Hmm.
Um, for me, man, I feel like, yeah, I do feel like you just always been one of them people that like just accepted me for whatever I brought at any time. You know what I mean? And that that has always been important to me because I've always felt like I couldn't really trust
Hmm.
many people, but you definitely gave me a safety of like being able to be open and I guess not rejecting my openness.
Hmm.
And yeah, man, like and I feel like that I think about like all of our close friends, like, you know, everybody is definitely giving me space to really project my most authentic self and constantly evolve into whatever that looks like,
Right.
you know. And yeah, that was just really important to me.
Yeah.
But I think you specifically, hey, what's going on, Jay Mike?
Jay Mike, what it is. Jay Mike.
Yeah, but you specifically, like, you just always felt like you was there for me, and also like never never would steer me on no like negative shit. Like I would say, granted, we are the same age, like just the way that you carry yourself as a person has always been somebody that I admire. So, you know, rather than, you know, sometimes giving into my youthfulness or my ego, like I do think about like how James would handle something or how, you know, you would respond to a situation, or even when I've responded to situations negatively, I feel like you've always been like real enough to tell me like I could have handled something differently or something like that. You know what I mean? So I think your honesty for me like definitely kept me invested as well.
What's up, man? Yeah. Just and even out. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's I appreciate hearing that, and definitely uh we still just laugh and have fun together,
Yeah.
man. We have a good
Yeah.
time. We still we find stupid stuff to laugh at.
And
We
it
gotta laugh.
like that's funny to me as well because, you know, I thought like, you know, as because I felt like at some point in our lives. And it could have been like mid 20s to
Hmm.
late 20s, but the conversations just would always get deep. And it was
Yeah.
like we could never just have a conversation without the shit just going somewhere deep, but still like enjoying it. Like, you know,
Right, right, right.
still really enjoying the conversation. But
And it was cool to have a safe place for that because you can't always do that with everybody.
yeah,
Some people don't have that ability to go deep, and some people just like they don't want to go deep and stuff. And the more I learned about myself, it was really helpful to me to have somebody to bring all that to and
yeah,
be like, hey man, this is what's going on with me and stuff, and not feel crazy about it, and vice versa.
yeah. Man, how are you feeling about where you at in the journey?
Today I am I'm in a good place today.
Yeah,
I'm in a place where I've done some hard things that was hard for me to do, and I'm still here. And
yeah,
I learned about myself, really addressing my ideas and my beliefs about myself, and kind of poking holes in them and seeing what's real and what's not. Like, oh, okay, this is what I believed about myself. This wasn't necessarily true. Um, just about my ability to, I guess, impact others, my ability to impact my own life. Um, I moved. This is Mike Brown's new spot. Everybody is really dope.
I appreciate
It really
that.
is, feels good. And me being able to move into my spot, uh, and kind of bring things on my terms in my life. And a lot of it of like, okay, before I believed I didn't have as much control over my life. But now I know I have control over some things. And then the stuff that I don't really have control over, I'm okay with starting to let those things go.
Yeah.
And so I'm in a pretty good place. I'm in a talkative place. I talked to Sean yesterday, and he was like, "Yeah, you used to be quiet. You used to just be observing." And I did. I used to be quiet a lot because I didn't value what I had to say. I didn't think it was cool enough. I didn't think it was the right thing to say. But now I'm in a place where I am valuing what I have to say, and I'm valuing what I feel more. Um,
Yeah.
and that's important to me, man. So
And was this like pre quarantine or during quarantine?
all the above, man.
Yeah.
This is like the change that I'm feeling now. You saying quarantine helped to sit with myself and kind of observe, but really just the years of doing work
Yeah.
into that. All of the therapy, the seminars, the books, the conversations, the scary things. Um, the repeated cycles of doing the same thing over and over. And it was, and shout out to J Mike. J Mike called me up and told me put my mask on because he heard I wasn't wearing my mask. Um, and I appreciate that so much. Like J Mike showed me he cared for me. And it was
Yeah.
another kind of thing of realizing how people care for me. People care for me in different ways. Um, and so I had to let go a lot of just the beliefs in general of like, oh, this is the only way people care for me, and this is the only way I can care for people. Um, and yeah, our J Mike relationship, Sean, by like all of our friends from college, all y'all care for me and care for each other in different ways.
Yeah.
That allows for me to care for myself in a multitude of ways and show up for myself in a multitude of ways. So it's not just me caring for myself the way I saw my mama care for me, the way I saw my daddy care for me, and everything else is like, okay, I can care for myself. Today I'm gonna care for myself like J Mike and tell myself put a mask on, or Mike Brown and tell myself just, chill and it's gonna be all right, or this or that. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at today, man. I'm feeling great, grateful, very grateful for all the love.
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing that because sometimes like without awareness, it can feel like you have to like care the same way for everything and everybody.
Mhm.
And that definitely takes some like just living and just learning that it has to be done different.
And how has that affected the way you cared about yourself?
I think that's where it started, to be honest. I feel like the care for myself showed me that I had to care about other people differently. You know what I mean? Like understanding that, you know, it's for me, self-care was a journey. Like having to learn how to care for myself has been a journey and always evolving. And as it evolves, I think the way I care about people evolves as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I understand that I don't have to be everything for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't understand that at first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, yeah, me learning that too. Like I said, me being quiet and me being observant, a lot of people were. I grew up thinking that that was my only role, and that was the only valuable thing I can offer people was being able to listen. And J Mike used to always call me because I used to be like this, is listening to women and thinking that was the only way I can create value for relationships with women, which is sleazy and creepy at times. But just in general, with people, like my role is to only be there to listen to you and kind of be your shoulder to cry on and stuff like that. And then learning that I needed that for myself at times too, and I needed to
Yeah.
be there for myself, and I can care for people in other ways of just being like, no, I'm not feeling that, or I can care for you from a distance. So
Right. Man,
yeah,
and I'm gonna be honest, I think I really learned that during quarantine.
yeah,
And I say that because, it felt like and not just with the COVID, but even with like the protesting and stuff.
mm,
Like with COVID, I felt like I'm a creative, so I have to do something to like save the world with creativity and make people feel good, not recognizing that I just do that
mm-hmm,
naturally. But with like George Floyd and shit, I felt like, man, I got to be out there protesting. I got to do this. And I don't feel it,
right,
but I'm also like, I have to do all of these roles and not really seeing what my position was. But now, like going back to myself, seeing like, okay, this is what I have to offer. This is what it is. And I can contribute in that way. And that's in anything, like everything
right.
that I'm doing.
Yeah, the this COVID, it definitely brought about the places. It let me stop to see how I have come farther than I thought. So it helped me to care
Yeah.
for myself in that way and be like, okay, James, you good? Like, chill, you good? And then the George Floyd thing, rest in peace.
Yeah.
It made me address my sense of hopelessness. It made me look at the blind spots I have about shutting off some things in my life. Like this ain't gonna change. This is so I ain't even gonna deal with it. This happened so many times and stuff like that. So it made me address some of my callousness, my hardness in the spaces, and then look at those. Like I got some of those spaces that I look at myself with too. Like
Yeah.
you ain't gonna change, James. This is how you gonna be. This is who you are. This is so. But with the George Floyd thing, you couldn't ignore it. You couldn't walk away from it. And some things in my life that I can't ignore anymore. It's like
Man.
I gotta address this. My emotions are protesting against my mind right now, and going through that struggle within itself, and trying to figure out a space like you said of okay, this is I know my role in my I know my role. I know what my role has been in progression of black folks and the progression of people and humanity and stuff like that. But then it made me look at it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
don't think that's a problem for me to look at it again and see it and then revalidate my valuableness in what I do. Like, yeah, James, what you do is valuable. And even right now, when everything is on fire and stuff, what you do is valuable. And in 10 months, when whatever happens is happens, you'll still be valuable. Keep doing what you do.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does. And like hearing you talk makes me think of another conversation I had, but like just understanding that like none of us really know anything about any of us. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like cuz we were kind of like the conversation started with then it led to like men not understanding like what women
mm-hmm,
have been through and experienced, and it's like how do we create that empathy for each other, um,
mm-hmm.
just as people.
For me, he said it's about the letting go of my ideas,
Yeah.
letting go of my idea of what a woman is, letting go of my idea of what Black Lives Matters in my life, letting go of those ideas be and looking at like where it is right now and
Yeah.
what I feel about it right now. Cause I grew up with a certain idea of women. I always say, Uncle Snoop helped with the idea of women and stuff like that. And 90s era, early 90s, mid 90s, late 90s, early 2000 rap,
Yeah.
just horrible for women and
Yeah.
horrible for men and how we look at women. And boy, can bring some ideas about women and stuff. And if those ideas are never addressed, they're still going to be carried out in the days that we live. So being willing to look at my ideas helps me let them go and have a deeper compassion for people because it's to me it's a part of being human to look at somebody else and start looking at their differences and be like, oh, they're different, so it
Yeah.
is what it is. But then you got to go beyond that and say, okay, we might not be the same on this, but let me at least, but we might be the same here. We
Right.
might be connected here, or this woman was like this, or they told me this about women, but really let me look, let me listen, let me be open minded, let me be aware, so I can connect with people on a deeper level instead of just nah, this is how it is, that's how it is. So it's me growing empathy was about me being open to letting go of the idea of myself and the ideas I had of other people and then step into what really is or what really could be.
Yeah. Do you feel like empathy can be taught?
Yes. I feel like empathy could be taught because the more people are exposed to information and the more people are taught on the importance of exposing themselves to information, the more they can start to connect with other people on a human level. And I
Yeah.
think that's what empathy is. But if you can't, because I feel like I can't even think of the opposite of empathy, just whatever that word is. That's taught
Yeah,
because I don't think white people are inherently evil, are inherently like just white superiority. Somebody had to teach them that.
yeah,
Somebody had to get, you always see the little kids, little white kids, black kids, or whatever kids, they love each other and they don't
yeah,
care. But somebody had to come in and teach you can't connect with this person because ABCD. So I feel like we can, when we teach in empathy, all we are doing is unlearning the lack of empathy.
yeah,
Because empathy is already there. We're already there. We don't need to learn it, but we need to learn how to come back to it.
yeah. I feel like, man, I feel like somebody taught us all fucked up, and we all kind of just accepted the shit. And I think this is the time that we just not we not accepting it no more. Some of us, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
it really feels like fighting the quote unquote good fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I can't play to somebody's rules that was, not in 2020,
No.
because it don't apply, like it don't fit right now. You know what I'm saying? And it really feel like I said, with this quarantine and everything, it almost feel like a portal was opened up in the universe for, like, this is your opportunity to just change all the shit you want to change. Like, you literally, that's why I said, like, we talk about manifesting earthly shit, like we could manifest some universal type
Mm-hmm.
shit, like the real universe.
Mm-hmm.
And this might be the time to do it.
It definitely is because we only know about the universe what we've been taught,
Right.
and that's somebody else's manifestation. That's somebody else's idea. Somebody told us this is Saturn, this is Pluto, this is Jupiter, this
Hmm.
is the whole. We don't. Somebody told us that we have the ability to create what you want. Somebody told us that black people are less than white people. Somebody told us blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like when we learn how to not just constantly rely on what other people tell us to establish a belief in ourselves, when we have that understanding, we can believe, we can manifest, we can create whatever we want to. When we really go out and seek the knowledge and the understanding for ourselves. And I'm not talking about, getting them books, brother. It's about just learning and living and having those experiences that can make you very afraid. That person that you're afraid to talk to, that message you afraid to send, that video you afraid to watch on YouTube,
Yeah.
that might lead you to a sense of letting go the things that are holding you back from connecting with the people that's going to help you grow. That's going to help you deal with the challenges that you thought that nobody can help you with. This is something you got to live with for the rest of your life. This is who you are. This is what it's going to be. No, no. There's somebody out there going through the same thing. There's somebody
Hmm.
out there who has the solution for you or the new understanding or the new belief that can really help you to change your life and accept your life for what it is. And that piece of acceptance is going to help you just transform and create a whole nother universe.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
do it. Let's create some universes, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely feels like that's what's happening right now.
It do. You can even look at Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. They said Jeff Bezos is worth of like 130 something billion,
Wow.
and he spends, I can't remember the numbers, but he spend like at least 30 billion on space exploration. 30 billion on space. He spends more of his budget on space than he do on his own earthly investments and
Yeah.
other stuff, man. So he's spending all this money on going to space. He is manifesting a new universe for himself. Elon Musk doing the same thing. Why we can't do it? Or why we can't do just create a new whatever. We can do whatever we want to.
Right. Absolutely.
When we let go of the things that hold us back, man.
Man, we had a conversation once about healing from racism.
Hmm.
What does that look like for you?
Healing from racism. I'm reading this book that Sarah put me on. Healing from racism means going inside myself and really feeling every wound I've had from racism, feeling every slight, feeling every bit of racial superiority, inferiority, really feeling it and having a connection with those feelings and then letting them go is all bullshit because we know race is a social construction.
Right.
Everybody's people. We all got the same DNA and stuff. It's just some people you know, need sunscreen and some people don't at the end of the day. And then we build cultures around it. So let me feel all the pain and stuff and all that I made real from this unreal structure, and then let it go. Um so the next, it was crazy. I was in the grocery store yesterday and there was a white man in there, and he really looked around and said, "Ah, I love it when I'm not in a place with only white people. I love it. This is
Wow.
awesome." And it was like, okay, and he wasn't all the way there. You could tell he was, but he didn't look like he was gone mentally. But he just, it was just really weird.
Yeah.
There's me and the other black lady in there, like, oh, okay. So it's like, all right, I felt what I felt. I felt like I had to suppress my want to react in a violent way. Like,
Hmm.
what are you doing, stupid? I felt like I had to let go of my suppression of the sadness of like, dude, you really, you think that helps for you to look around and say, awesome, you're black, I see you here. This is making to scream that into, which brought me to being in classes where I'm the only black kid in class, and they bringing up slavery and bring all that, and thinking about, okay, this is probably going to go on for the rest of my life, where somebody is trying to understand or trying to make something out of my race. I had to feel all that
Yeah.
on the walk home, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, and then really understand that it ain't got nothing to do with me.
Man.
It ain't got nothing to do with me.
Man. And I
It got
agree
nothing to
with
do with
you.
me. Yeah. What does it look like for you, man?
Letting go of racism.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I think was what started it for me was like telling myself every day that I wasn't gonna let this control me emotionally,
Mm,
and rather than focusing on it, it's now shifted me to focus on something else, which
mm-hmm.
is empowering and
Mm,
uplifting.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm putting all my energy into that,
mm-hmm.
this ain't gonna affect me like that.
Right.
And that's not me saying that it don't exist or it's not going to exist,
Right. Right.
but it's just saying I'm choosing not to entertain it. Like, I really feel like the relationship with racism is almost like being in a toxic relationship,
Mm,
and this person ain't willing to do the work, so I gotta fucking leave it where it's at
mm-hmm.
and do the work for me.
That's real.
Yeah.
That is
Like,
real.
I feel like I'm I've been in therapy and like kind of like working on my own mental health for so long that now I apply that kind of like yoga, like taking it off the
Off the
mat
mat.
and applying it to life. Like, I really had to accept like racism has zero to do with me. That's why when people ask me for solutions, I don't have a solution for it
No.
because I didn't create it.
Right.
So, you know,
That's real. I think empowering others is a huge way to deal with it. Because you are, like you said, in a toxic relationship where if you in a toxic relationship and somebody looking at like, oh man, I want my relationship to be like Mike's and stuff, and then you're like, no, that wasn't working. There was some things about it. And then the other person gonna look at their relationship with it, and they can move forward and create some new relationships. I like that, Mike. Appreciate it. Cause yeah, that's a, it is. It's a thing. You're like, okay, racism is going. It's here and it's there. And then, like I said yesterday, it was just, it comes in all different shapes and forms and stuff. And you just,
yeah,
and my own racist beliefs and stereotypes about others and black folks and all that kind of stuff. But just being able to look at them, address them, and be like, okay, that's what my thought was. That's where my mind went. Like you said, let me let that relationship go.
yeah,
That's dope. Appreciate that.
absolutely. Something else that crosses my mind is, when we do dismantle white supremacy, like are we like my fear is of trying to create black supremacy because of the hurt that was caused to us and now creating something else. Does that make sense?
It does. And I think some people are arguing for black supremacy, but I think, like you said, whenever we put any human being over any other human being in
Right.
any kind of way, it's going to be a problem. Um, and it's been throughout so many different systems and stuff where, okay, it's not about color, it's about religion, it's not about religion, it's about money, it's about blah 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 blah. I think as black people, we have been at the bottom of the system for a long time, and we want to feel like justice is to be at the top of it, to even be included in it. But I think we always have to keep our eye outside of the system and be like, okay, our value is not based on money. Our value is not based on what we have or what we don't have or what kind of laws we. Our value is based on something even like deeper. You know what I
Right.
mean? And we can't lose sight of the value of what other people got for the. We can't lose the sight of that or lose what we have just being us. Like it's a lot of value in being that. And I know I can say that because I am economically secure. I am, I have food security, I have a sense of safety. I'm not in the hood. I'm not nowhere where it's like, man, I'm scared for my life and every day and stuff like that. I'm at a place where I can reflect and be like, man, I value myself instead of somebody constantly, police constantly harassing me and blah, 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 blah. So I know I have the privilege of being able to say that. So I am an experienced sense of privilege, but that's what I know that as we tap into the value of who we are as a people, I just feel like it'll be a shift in like, I'm not trying to be superior to nobody. I ain't trying to have everything that they got and stuff. Like I'm cool with what I got. And I'm cool with what I can build and stuff. Because it's hard to build something for yourself when you constantly looking over at the other thing. Like, oh, I need that. That's what I want. That's what I. But what can we build on our own? So I don't know.
That's real, man. Um, Shit, what are you building on your own? Like, what do you feel like you building right now?
Right now, I am building the ability to be authentically myself and for other people to join in on that. I want to build a community where people can come in as they self and stay or leave as a better version of themselves.
Yeah,
And that could be economically, that could be mentally, socially, emotionally, whatever. But I just want to build a place, and it could be physical or it could just be mental, where people feel like I'm getting better here, or I'm acknowledging my value here. You might not have to feel it really get better. You might just need to realize how good you are.
yeah,
Um, I'm building that by working on myself and sharing it with other people and inviting them into the practices and the things that I see and to the conversations I have with myself and the beliefs that I'm challenging so they can start to build that safety and that authenticity within themselves.
yeah. Man, what's your biggest lesson to date?
Mm, yeah, my biggest lesson today is same vein of um, I have to let go to grow.
Yeah,
I have to let go of who I thought I was, who I thought I should be, what I thought I should have, what I thought I should be doing, who I thought I should be with, what I thought, blah, 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 blah. I have to let that go on a daily basis. Even if it's something that I feel like was positive and like, oh, this is who I am. I'm the person that help everybody. I'm the person that make the money. I'm the person that this. To grow, I got to let that go.
yeah.
And and to move into a space where I don't know what I can call myself, claim myself, but if it's pulling me to move forward and to let something go, I got to do it. So my biggest lesson is really the art of letting go.
That's what's up, man. And shit, we made it 38 minutes. We did 38 minutes today because of it's June 27th, you
Shout
know.
out DJ Screw.
Yeah, rest in peace to DJ Screw. And
What's your biggest lesson, Mike?
my biggest lesson to date is to not let fear stop me
Mm,
from uh from doing anything. You know, it's funny, before I moved here, you know, I said that it was an option to go back to Texas for a little while, which
mm,
never was an option.
mm,
But my fear made me feel like this might not happen, you know. And I think it was actually talking to you, because you did the video about doing manifestation meditation.
mm.
And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I feel like everything dope that I do learn from you. Like Like you do have big homie qualities because you always do some cool shit and then like, put me on and shit. But yeah, I was just like, man, let me try this and just see what it's about. And I feel like I manifested this place and got it literally like 4 days before I had to move out.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So you said letting go of fear. Like, what was the most difficult part about manifesting?
Um, believing that I could get it. Like I have this idea and that I can see it into existence.
Mm,
And that's with a lot of things. That's with a whole lot of things. So that's why. But taking those leaps and doing it and seeing it is like, okay, well, I could manifest something bigger than this, and that's why I said I could manifest Saturn.
right.
you know,
Got a car wash on Saturn coming.
yeah,
What made the shift in you being able to believe? Like, where'd that come from?
I think isolation.
Mm,
Um, in quarantine, like the first couple of weeks, like really being to myself and not having no outer influences. Like I wasn't doing too much social media, wasn't watching too much TV, wasn't really talking to too many people. So like having time to like purge everything and then retake in what I need to take in. Like I find time to do that during the week. And I was even thinking like when life goes back to normal, I still want to find time to just completely separate. You know what I'm saying? Because in a day where I'm feeling too overwhelmed, like I will stop and do nothing. It's almost like knocking over blocks and then picking up
mm,
the block. So that's kind of how I look at it. And it makes me not feel as overwhelmed. I feel like I begin to trust myself more by doing that. Like, okay, let's slow it down and let's build it back up. And it's like, yeah, everything is good. There's nothing to really be because the fear doesn't really feel like when I try to make fear tangible, it's not anything that I can like say.
mhm. Right. So like calling that out. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you out, and if you ain't real, if you ain't showing up,
Yeah.
I do it. And you talking about going back to quote unquote normal. What are you manifesting for post quarantine?
Who? Um
Because I feel like just we have that choice now.
shit. I feel like my life is gonna be a lot more active as far as outside. And what I mean by that is like just I'm gonna be doing not quarantine karaoke, but I'm gonna be doing karaoke somewhere. I'm gonna be doing live events at places and traveling to do that. Might be traveling to Saturn. But yeah, traveling to simply be Mike Brown and really thriving off of myself, man. Like you know, I don't know.
Mm,
I just feel like I feel my uniqueness
mm-hmm,
in life,
mm-hmm.
and not that like yeah I'm gonna capitalize off of it, but it's like yeah I'm gonna put it to use to get me everything that I need to get and like do everything that I need to do.
That's dope. That's dope, man. Um, to thrive off of yourself, like
Yeah, and that even sounds scary, but it's like and that's it's nothing wrong with that.
what that mean?
What
To thrive off of yourself.
to shit? Um,
That's a huge statement, man.
yeah. For me to thrive off of myself is, you know, to like be able to like completely just support myself, like
Mm-hmm.
mentally, spiritually, financially is important as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, being able to like really support myself in my life off of me. And also, and when I say that, it's not like I'm just saying like, yeah, I'm gonna do this all by myself, but being solid and clear in my ideas and like just accepting them for what they are and going in that direction, which I know, like I said, everything works together. So I'm not just taking full credit for it, but I am taking credit for the idea that I'm creating and
Right.
I'm seeing through.
Right.
I'm taking ownership of it.
That's dope. I feel like it makes me think of taking ownership for what I bring and who I am and what I create and the impact that I have, and going beyond just saying it's enough. Because I'm just getting to the point of like, okay, I'm enough. Now it's moving to the point of like enough is just barely making it.
Hmm.
Now it's like I'm enough. Yeah, okay, I know that, and I can get everything I want or I need and have, and like I thriving from myself means I can accomplish the things I want and do the things and give the things that I want without selling myself out, without relying on things outside of me and how I feel and my passions and my purpose. Like my who I am, just bottom line is it's enough to thrive. I got enough to feed a whole nation with whatever I'm trying to feed. It's a sense of abundance. Like
Yeah.
it's enough here.
Yeah.
It's more than enough here.
Yeah.
And really trying to claim that. So I really like that. Like you said, it thriving from myself.
Yeah, man.
It's really dope, man. Can I ask if there's any questions out there? If y'all got
Yeah,
any
absolutely.
questions or
Yeah.
comments, if y'all want Mike to take his shirt off or anything like that.
I'll leave my cash app. Yeah,
Oh
if
man.
y'all have any questions, please do ask. If you have something you want to share,
Mm-hmm. Thank
like
y'all for
we
rocking
here
with
for
us.
it. Yeah, I absolutely appreciate y'all being here. Like this is really dope.
What's the next steps for Art of Letting Go, man?
Man, the next steps for the art of letting go, like I said, traveling with the show, taking it on the road and doing some live shows in different cities and countries. Um, and for me personally, like I'm gonna create a podcast network. I am because I have so many ideas of different shows, and all of them. I can't do all of them. I can, but at the same time, like I would like to have other. I have to work. The thing that I'm learning about myself is that I have to trust other people with my ideas, and I have a very hard time with that because I
That's
see
true.
it so clear
Mm-hmm.
that it's hard for me to like accept it any other way. It's like fuck it, I'll do it myself. But as I'm maturing and becoming more open, I'm saying I can trust people with my ideas because I'm gonna attract the people that see my vision.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know what the name of that network is gonna be, but it's gonna be a Mike Brown podcast network.
That's dope. I'm very proud of you.
I appreciate that.
Very proud of you. And I want to ask you, how did you develop the discipline and the consistency to make it to 100?
Mm, I think passion.
Mm,
I think really being and purpose as well. Like feeling my purpose within this.
mm-hmm,
You know, um, this is probably one of the few projects that I've done where I didn't care what people thought about it. I
mm,
didn't care about validation with this, and still don't. You know, and
mm-hmm,
that's what's keeping me going because I think once I start to care about anything other than the show, it's going to lose its value
mm,
because then I'm letting somebody else dictate what's being done.
mm-hmm.
So as long as I have control over this, I enjoy it. And I'm sorry, what was your question?
No, that was it. Like
Yeah. Yeah, so what kept me
consistency.
going? Yeah, what kept me so consistent? Um this show has always been about a space for me to talk and like get out my thoughts and ideas and stuff like that. So, you know, it never really was about like being a big podcast or blowing up as a podcast. Like it was really about what it was doing for me. So that is what kept me going.
That's dope, man. It is going back to thriving off yourself. it's a different experience, a different place when you're not relying on a parent, an institution, a group of other people to tell you to keep going. You know, because we did school twice,
Yeah.
high school. We did all the school. We did. You know, we know how to show up for a job. We know how to show up for other people. But when you showing up for yourself, it hit a little different, and I can feel it. And the people that are impacted by it or letting go can feel it.
That's what's up, man. And like I really enjoy connecting with my community because talking to them, I see reflections of them within myself. So when somebody shares with me something that may not even be on the podcast, but just something that they're experiencing, like I definitely feel it, and it inspires me to keep going and keep growing, because it's like my community is going to keep growing if I keep growing.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I enjoy the connection that I get with like the people, and it's like whether the people are interacting with me or not interacting with me, because it's always blew my mind how many people like really listen, and you don't even know,
Hmm.
or just paying attention, like
Hmm.
not even listening to the podcast, but just paying attention to what you're doing without you even knowing it.
It's real.
And I appreciate being able to experience that now in my life, and it has shifted me to, like I said, really doing this for myself,
Right.
and whatever comes out of it comes out of it.
Right. And that's dope because as you create that community, I think it's amazing that you get to see even more parts of yourself of like, oh, I didn't even realize I was connected to this person or this person felt like they got this from me or whatever. Because the more people tell you about how they impacted you, it's reciprocal. I give and you give back to me, and it helps to just really move everybody forward.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you starting a community, and letting me be such a beautiful and wonderful place. It's dope, man. So yeah, I hope everybody got plenty of water. You got the incense and the sage burning and the trap music playing in the background or whatever you got. Just appreciate you being here in this space and being open enough to keep this going and to hear two dope boys having a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, thank y'all so much for being here. Can you let the people know where they can find you?
For sure, though, you can find me at www.datyogadude.com, DATYOGADUDE.com, or Instagram, that yoga dude, Facebook, that yoga dude, all with a D, DDD, and that yoga dude over there. And you can check us out and what we are doing. www.timmytut.com. You can check out the book that we have. Yeah, that's where we're at on the internet. And you can give my phone number a call too. It is what is it? 310-884-04, whatever Mike Brown, Mike Jones said.
Man, thank y'all so much for tuning in. James, thank you for coming
Thank
through.
you for having me.
This is Mike Brown, James Woods, and this was Two Dope Boys in a Conversation. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Enjoy your weekends.
Thank you, Mike.